Stefano, how are you?
Good.
Jason, last season was a tough season for Cody. How banged up was he? How much did that impact his performance on the field?
Well, I think he was dealing with quite a bit last year. Obviously, it started with the knee, and he's a warrior. I mean, he fought through it all year. So it did impact kind of one of his strengths in football, which is being able to be mobile and move. Yes, absolutely. But he never used it as an excuse. He just kept grinding, kept working. He was healthy at the end of the year, and obviously, as an organization, they decided to go a different direction at the end of the year. But he worked his butt off all year, and that's what I saw of him every single day. He gave everything he had, and very proud of him for doing that. But he's healthy now, and that's what's important.
Yeah, and how much, the fact that you guys have a relationship, you worked together for 2 seasons in Saskatchewan, how much is that, hopefully helping you to install that new offense? You have the quarterback knowing that
right.
offense.
It's huge. The communication factor in football is enormous, and anytime you have a leader on your football team, the quarterback being able to, he doesn't have to think. He's not thinking out here as much as everybody else is, and that's a comfort level for him. He's going to get everybody up to speed, just the way he operates the offense and how quickly he can absorb information and obviously communicate the information needed to all the players. So when your quarterback's not thinking a whole lot and trying to get everybody else up to speed, it's so much better to have him be able to be doing that than having no experience back there. So I think it's going to help him a tremendous amount this year. I've already seen a comfort level that I haven't seen the last 2 years at the beginning of the year. So obviously 3 or 4 years really with the COVID year together, I think is going to help him tremendously.
Chandler Worthy wasn't here at the start of the last season, but now he's taking reps with the receiving corps. Is he part of the equation for what you're looking for in this game?
I mean, we all know Chandler Worthy's importance to our football teams on special teams. We know he's as good as a returner as there is. He's dynamic, and we definitely want him. That's his number one job on our football team, is to be that guy for us each and every week. But he does have a special skill set. He's been a receiver before. Obviously you watch him run routes, he's extremely dynamic, and he's got speed, and he's got great hands. So it's really just about us, involving him more, and that's what we're looking to do. But obviously we're not going to let that take from special teams. We tell everybody on our team, you can take yourself out on offense and defense all you want. You will never take yourself out on special teams. That's how important special teams are to the fabric of our team, and in general in the CFL. So he knows what he's here for. But obviously, yes, if we can get him involved, we're going to try.
You have more than 21, even 22 receivers at camp. What do you expect to see from these guys in the next 3 days?
Well, get better every day. I mean, at the end of the day, you get a lot of guys in here that haven't been in the CFL. They all have talent. We talked about our first meeting. Everybody here has ability. It's about, how tough they are, how available they're going to be to us every single day, mentally tough, how much they can absorb and have the ups and downs of a training camp and still produce, and then what kind of effort they show on and off the field. So whether that be learning their playbooks a little bit better, being better in the meetings, and then displaying that out on the field. So, you just want to see improvement every day more than anything. And today, what I saw yesterday, one-on-ones didn't go our way, I don't think, as a receiving core, I would say. But today, I thought the receiving core stepped it up a tremendous amount. So if you can see a leaps and bounds improvement in one day, you think the rest of the camp, they just got to be consistent with that. So obviously, there's a great compete level against our defense, and those guys just got to come to work every day.
You talked about Fajardo being banged up last year. Greg Ellingson was one player who was hindered by injuries. What do you see from him so far? What do you expect from him?
Greg's great. I mean, obviously he's a leader for the receiving core. He's the guy that's been there, done that in our offense, and in particular the offense I've ran in the past. So I think he has a great comfort level with what we're doing. He's done a lot of the same concepts over his career in a couple different spots in Ottawa and Edmonton with me. So obviously every year is a new year. He's getting to know his teammates a little bit and getting to know how we do things here. But I expect him to be great, which is have boundless amounts of energy, be able to do the things we ask of him, be a great leader for us. And obviously, we're evaluating everybody. We're just expecting Greg to be great.
Do you see him as your WR1 starting the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to say anybody's ever guaranteed a spot kind of thing, but that's where we have him penciled in, and obviously he's a vet, and we don't have have a lot of those on our receiving corps. So you got to have a guy that's been there and been in live game action. Greg's a very quarterback-friendly receiver, because of the way he runs routes, his knowledge of the game. He's a very positive receiver in the room. So he's going to be a great person to learn from. And I just think that obviously throughout a whole training camp, everybody, the best will rise to the top, and you always think that someone like Greg would be able to do that.
Thank you,
No problem.
Thanks, coach.
Doing very well.
Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien et vous?
Est-ce que je me rappelle il y a quelques années, quand tu travaillais pour les Carabins de l'Université de Montréal, tu me disais que tes filles t'aidaient beaucoup à la maison avec le français. Comment ça va le français aujourd'hui?
Maintenant, je continue à pratiquer mon français avec les joueurs, avec mes familles aussi. Mais encore difficile pour avoir beaucoup de conversations avec les autres. C'est pour attendre chaque mot. Mais maintenant, je continue à pratiquer.
C'est très bon.
Ah, merci. Merci beaucoup.
Anthony, tu as tout vécu avec les Alouettes de Montréal. Par contre, ce qu'on vit cette année, avec autant de nouveautés, c'est-à-dire nouveau président, nouvel entraîneur, nouveau corps arrière, nouveau propriétaire, es-tu capable de comparer ça avec quelque chose que tu as déjà vécu, d'avoir autant de changements en une saison?
Oui, mais c'est pas normal. Mais pour nous, on continue avec pas des, comment on dit, distractions. Yeah. So maintenant, on va, comment on dit, focus on jouer le football de la terrain. So pour nous, ça marche.
Il y a encore une fois un nouveau carrière. Comment tu évalues Cody Fajardo? Moi, je l'ai vu hier ici, belle énergie, très vocale avec ses joueurs sur le terrain, il parle beaucoup. C'est un carrière qui bouge beaucoup avec ses pieds aussi, capable d'être très spectaculaire. Qu'est-ce que tu vois en lui? Qu'est-ce que tu vois de Cody?
Well, maintenant, j'ai vu extreme leadership skills. Il parle avec toute de l'équipe, en défensif, en offensif aussi. Et je pense tous les joueurs avoir beaucoup de respect pour Cody. So we're in a good position.
You got a lot of receivers at this camp, 20-something, 22. Is it hard as a QB and as a QB coach and as offensive coordinator to work with so many receivers to start with?
It's a challenge for the receivers coach, for Mike, that's for sure. But overall, we brought in a lot of receivers because we are looking for receivers, and they know that, and they know that they have a smaller window because we have to make some cuts here in another day or so. But we have given them all the opportunity for them to make this team, meeting the off season, setting up all the information so they can have it. And now we're seeing the ones who actually really studied a lot, and now the ones who are out there executing. So it's great. It's great competition, but it will be a challenge for us as coaches. So we want to make sure that we look at the film and evaluate properly.
Ask me when you're ready.
Ready to go, Freddie. Thank you.
All right. So, Greg, new beginning with you with the Alouettes after a rough season because of injuries last year. There's a lot of openings on this receiving corps. So, where do you see yourself fitting in, and what do you want to, if you have anything to prove or that you want to prove?
I mean, in the game of football, you have to prove yourself every year. So, looking to do that, and then aside from that, I've been around for a while. I've been on a lot of teams that have gotten to the Grey Cup, and knowing the standard that it takes to get there, I hope that I can bring that leadership to the guys and show them how to practice, because you create good habits, and that turns into good things on the field.
Do you want to kind of turn the page on last season too? You want to personally?
Oh no, I'm not disappointed with last year. I mean, unfortunately, I got hurt, but I came back to the playoffs. We made it to the Grey Cup. I helped contribute at the beginning of the year when we were I think 8-1. So had a good start to the year. Just injuries happen. That was unfortunate, and I fought back from injury and then came back for the end of the year into the Grey Cup. So happy how it went. Obviously we didn't win the Grey Cup, but this is a new year, and that's the goal here.
On top of all the stats you put up in your career, do you think that your leadership was part of the equation for bringing in your youth here with maybe a younger corp and a team that is aspiring to get higher in the rank?
Man, I think you learn every year from the older guys and younger guys. I mean, hopefully some of my veteran wisdom can be reflected onto the younger guys, but you learn stuff from everybody. I'm going to learn stuff from the young guys here and apply it to my craft, and vice versa. I'm going to bring stuff that they can use.
What can you bring with your experience for a young guy like Tyson Philpott that had a great first year last year, and that that this team is counting a lot on him for the next few years? So what?
Yeah, it's just been 2 days so far. I think so far that we're on the same side of the boundary together. So communication is one big thing, and then just hustling at good plays. Making sure we're on the ball, making sure we communicate, because that's going to translate to good plays.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Greg, sorry, I just need a couple more.
Sorry,
Can you just remind me again what the injury was? I know you and I talked about it from last year. What was it specifically?
Is that media stuff? Is the foot?
It was just a foot? Yeah, just that's fine. Yeah. And I'm curious, like the Jason Maas offense, like you've been in it before, you've had a lot of success in it before. I'm curious, like what is it about the offense that kind of caters to your skill set? What do you like about it?
I mean, it's quick, right? So we're going. This is the first time I've actually done the back-to-back practices, the shotgun stuff. It's intense, it's fun, but it gets guys a lot of reps, especially with the playbook right now. We have all these one-word terms. We're trying to play really quick, catch defenses off guard a little bit, and this team has a great run game, and they're looking to continue to do that. So I think having that dual threat is huge for this offense. And playing with Maas before in Edmonton and Ottawa, that's something that we took pride in, is playing fast and wearing down the defense by the end of the game and making sure that we can control it.
And outside of how you contribute on the field, you talked about leadership and the young receivers. I'm curious, can you give me not maybe an example because it's early in camp, but how do you feel you can help specifically, like with the day-to-day? Like what are some of the questions you get from the young Americans in particular?
Communication is the main thing, man, especially with this offense. Communicating is huge, especially before the snap, how you're seeing the defense, if the Sam's over, if it's man zone. There's little things we're going to go over and film and on the field. And aside from that, it's just work ethic, making sure we're jogging off the field, making sure we're getting 5-10 yards to the ball, around the ball carrier, because that's when good things happen. You're around the ball, there's a fumble, you get the ball back, or you're making that big block to spring somebody loose in a game. That pays dividends, and we're going to make sure we create those habits.
Feel nice to be back in the East?
Oh, that's great.
Biggest difference?
French. But I like it. It's fun. I'm learning slowly. Today my word was hello, s'il vous plaît.
There you go. It's very good. Well done.
Thank you.